Hello you guys, it's Fabio coming back with another live video. Guys, what I want to talk about in this video, I won't take a lot of your time. I just had a quick little briefing here, so I figured I'll go live. Um, it seems like a lot of you guys are having problems with keeping employees, okay? Uh, if at all is possible, what I would suggest that you guys do is start with yourself. The thing is, guys, managing people, hiring people, getting people to do what you want them to task, right? It can be very, very difficult. Here's what I suggest, all right? For you guys that's just starting that might have maybe one or two people, okay? You might have one or two people working for you. Um, Try to fall back from hiring right now. But if you focus on you focus on growing the business yourself, you guys, down the line. When I first started my business, guys, I didn't start off with hiring anyone, right? Because everything was all new to me. I didn't know who I was going to hire, where to hire, where I was going to go about to hire people. All I knew was eventually I would have to hire somebody, right? But like I said, I work 30 to 60 days in any contract. Now, you don't have to work that many days. I would suggest you do, but you don't have to work as many days in as I did before you hire. But I would suggest that you hire. Go ahead and hit the like button, guys. Make sure you share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way, whenever I upload a live or upload a video, you guys get it. But like I said, I wanted to come and let you guys know that I would suggest, because so many people, I get so many text messages, even people that's on my coaching, they get the accounts. Accounts is not a problem. It's just getting people to work those accounts and getting people to show up, getting people not to call off, getting people to do what you want them to do, okay? So many of you guys, you quickly want to grow. You feel accomplished. I got a business. I started my cleaning business. I hired somebody. I'm on track to doing this amount of revenue or whatever the case is, and you kind of get caught up in that. Break it down systematically, guys. Everything happens systematically. You have to break it down slowly, okay? Again, I know the ultimate goal is to grow, and eventually you will grow. But if you don't understand the mechanics, you don't understand what you have to do in any given site, yet you want to hurry up and throw somebody in there, you're doomed before you even start, okay? When I started, it took a long time to get to this point, okay? It took a long time, trial and error, bumps in the road, just so much before I got to where I'm at now, okay? And I'm a lot better at managing employees, but I still get the same type of things that you guys get with employees, call-offs, no call, no show, a bunch of excuses, etc., etc., okay? Again, break your business down. Break your business down systematically, okay? I can't stress that enough. With everything, bro, from A to Z, when it comes down to the coaching, what I like to do, I systematically craft something around your company. Every company is different. So unless you don't understand the, beginning setup stages, how to register your business, DBA, then I'll take you from A to Z. But usually what I like to do on a coaching call is I like to see where you're at and how we can kind of 5X or how we can 10X or how we can kind of get you over the hump, where your weak spot's at, right? How we can attack your weak spots and make it a little bit better for you, make it where you can grow and prosper, etc., etc. So that's kind of what I like to do on the coaching. We talk about getting accounts, marketing accounts, bidding on accounts, why it's best to bid this way versus that way, just different techniques that you can use on bidding on new contracts. So we cover everything from A to Z, okay? But like I said, guys, if you're just starting out in your commercial cleaning business, I want you to start with you. Start with you. Again, the ultimate goal is to hire somebody. Okay, but if you don't understand the mechanics, if you've never done this before, you're going to be a little rusty, right? You got to, graduate. You got to get yourself, in the wing of doing things. And that way, when you bring somebody in, it'll be a lot easier for you to train them, okay? So again, guys, focus on you. And another thing I want to say, do not quit your job. I was kind of forced out, so out of desperation, I had to do something for me. But if I can roll the time back and be able to keep my job, thanks so much, bro. Yep, not a problem, bud. Just make sure you, if you want to get set up with coaching, make sure you go ahead and just email us. Alexis or Jasmine to be able to assist you with that. Hollywoodjanitorialserv@gmail.com. Just put, hey, I want to get started, coaching, whatever, and they'll be able to help you out with that, get you started. But like I said, guys, do not quit your job. Do not quit your job, because so many people, even in my coaching, right? So many people, they come in the coaching, they see I'm doing my thing, they see other YouTubers doing their thing in terms of starting this commercial cleaning stuff, and why it sounds easy, it sounds easy and kind of look easy based on the way we explain it. It's work, it's a business, it's going to take time. Keep your job if at all possible, okay? That way you have, while you're trying to build this business and generate revenue, you still have the revenue that's kind of coming in, right? You can use that to kind of help you over the hump, help you with bills, etc., etc. Okay, do not quit your job. I would generally tell people, if at all possible, stay with your job for 6 months to a year after kind of starting your business, or within that process of starting your business, okay? Stay 6 months to a year, okay? As far as hiring people, I would tell you, work 30 to 60 days in and then put a body in there, okay? It's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna take sleepless nights. You're not gonna get a lot of rest. It's gonna take you coming in a house at 2, 3 o'clock in the AM in the morning, right? Again, I know it sounds like it's a lot of work, and it is a lot of work, but you have to dedicate yourself to it, okay? I dedicated myself to it, okay? And that's why it was able to work for me. Each and every single day, I did something to try to get some momentum going, to try to build some traction, okay? Again, if I would have gave up in the first 60 days, guys, I wouldn't be able to come here on a video and tell you kind of how I did it, right? Because I would have given up a long time ago. I want you guys to listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Stay in the midst of things. Stay at it. Do not give up. Do not give up. There's a lot of people in my coaching that's making more money now, and then there's some people in my coaching that's just not making no money because they're not doing the necessary things that need to be done, okay? I had somebody, and I was gonna make this a separate video, but I'm gonna bring it here. I had somebody on my Facebook, they say, Fabio, why do you speak so much on coaching? Is it to sell your coaching and this and this and this, or your mentorship or whatever the case is? Here's the thing, guys. And I talked to my dad about this. Sometimes me and my dad, I say, Dad, what do you think about a mentor? What do you think about a coach? And I asked my dad this, and this is what he said to me. He said, Phil Jackson, what do you know him as? I said, he's a coach. I say, he coached the Bulls, he coached the Lakers, he's a coach. He said, Michael Jordan, what do you know him as? I say, a basketball player. Here's what my dad said, and it makes perfect sense. My dad said Michael Jordan is not only the best player in the NBA, right? He's the most world-renowned, right, player in the NBA, or part of the NBA, right? He said the reason we know more about Michael Jordan than we know about any other Chicago Bulls, player or whatever, the reason Jordan is so popular is not because he's the best looking. It's not because he can dribble the ball. He said Jordan seemed to do things in the off season that other people wasn't willing to do in the off season. Okay, so that goes back to what I'm saying, guys. You got to live this stuff. You got to get up and want to do this stuff. Don't do commercial clean because it sounds like it's a business. It's easy to start, which it is, to low to no money, which you can do, right? Don't just do it just for the money. Have some sort of passion behind it, because if you don't, you're not going to be active. You won't be effective. Okay, like my dad said, he said, you don't know a whole lot about the other Chicago Bulls players. I mean, you got Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and some of the other ones that was on the team, right? But there's a lot of players that was on that team within that Jordan era that we don't know about really, right? They didn't really get that much playing time, right? And when they got the playing time, they didn't execute, right? So their playing time was minimal. Okay, so again, this is your playing time. Either you're going to execute with the playing time that you have, or you're going to minimize your success. You're going to execute with the planned time that you have, or you're going to minimize your success. Okay? That's why I talk about the importance of mentorship and coaching. Now, I'm not telling you that in the effect that you have to come and coach with me. You don't. Okay? It's a lot of coaches out there in every industry, every endeavor, whatever the case is. Sometimes coaching is not even in the sense of a person. It's a YouTube video. It's a book, right? It could be your grandma. It could be your father, right? Sometimes coaching comes from different aspects. You got paid coaching, and then you got, unpaid coaching. People, they like enough to tell you some stuff, right? Help you out. They've been through a trial and error, so they tend to want to help you out. Okay? Well, whether you got paid coaching or non-paid coaching, guys, mentorship and coaching is very, very important. In the top of my career doing this commercial cleaning stuff, I made incredible amounts of mistakes. As I started making money, in the BNI meetings, I went to the Chamber of Commerce meetings, I started meeting people. Okay? I started meeting people. Going to those meetings, I started meeting people that had like millions of dollars, right? They didn't necessarily have to be there, but they were there. And that's how my coaching came apart. You got Todd Nichols, that's another one, right? I bought his course 2012, right? And it just took off from there. You got Don Lapre, I saw it after him, the guy, the making money guy on TV, right? I was able to go to Phoenix and talk to Don, and taught me everything I know about infomercial and media buying, service, and that type of thing, right? But again, I sought these people out. And that's exactly what you're gonna have to do. Okay, you got to get under somebody that you trust and believe that can help you elevate and 10x your business. Okay, Jordan wouldn't really be Jordan as we know him today without Phil Jackson. He had a hand in that. And if Jordan got on TV and said, I could do it without Phil, Jordan would be lying. Right? Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson crafted those moves because he had a mentor himself to help him. There's people that came before Michael Jackson that we may or may not even know about that helped Michael Jackson craft that moonwalk. And when he get on the stage and he does that moonwalk, he does it with perfection. He does it with magical, with the amazement, right? So when we see Michael Jackson, the first thing we want him to do is do that little turn and do that moonwalk. Right? That was his thing. Again, he had a mentor. At a very young age, his father was his coach, right? His mentor, right? So again, guys, it's important. It's important to have a coach or have a mentor, have somebody to help you over the hump. Why would you want to fall in a ditch? Why would you want to fall in the puddle? Why would you want to fall in the loophole? When there's people that came before you that's done it that can help you get over the loophole and help you avoid that ditch. Okay? So again, that's not what this video was about, but I wanted to talk about that because it kind of just dawned on me. Somebody asked me on Facebook, they say, Fabio, why you push the coaching? Is it because you sell it? Shit, I'm gonna be down with the coaching in a month, a little over a month time, right? February 15th is when the coaching, I won't be offering it no more. So you guys can get in while you can get in between now and February the 15th. After that, you won't hear me talking about selling, coaching, and lead generation. I'm steady building my business. I'm steady working on new ventures outside of the cleaning business, right? That's because my cleaning business works on autopilot for me. So whether I'm actively working in it or I'm not, I'm still generating the income because of the way I set the business up. You're never going to get that way, guys, if you don't systematically set your business up. It didn't happen overnight. I broke it down. I broke it down into sections, and you're going to have to do the exact same thing if you want to grow in this business. Okay? Again, if you're in the maid service or you're doing residential, as they like to call it, you're doing residential and you want to convert over to commercial, perfect the residential side. Perfect it. Bring revenue in on a consistent basis. Take some revenue out of that, you go ahead and get your commercial thing. You want to go from residential to commercial to carpet cleaning. Again, perfect residential, perfect commercial, take revenue out of that, and then put it into marketing, carpet cleaning services if that's what you want to do. Okay? But you have to break it down. You have to break it down, and then you just have to take action. Many of you is not succeeding really just because you're not taking action. You use the law of attraction. So many people might come to say, Fabio, I like the law of attraction. Law of attraction is bullshit because they forget the one part. The one part that they leave out of the law of attraction is they tell you just manifest it and think about it, and you're going to attract this to your person. You're going to attract the universe around you. You won't attract anything if you don't take action, right? It's kind of like if you sit at home, you watch The Secret or whatever, you read the book, you listen to the audio, you watch the movie, and you never leave your house, you never do anything towards your commercial cleaning business. You're just going to keep manifesting and keep thinking about it. But you haven't taken an action, therefore you haven't gotten any results. You haven't opened the universe up to you because you haven't put yourself in the universe. Okay? So again, guys, it's paramount that you listen to this. Okay? It's paramount. I don't want your 2019 to be repeated 2020. Okay? With or without my help. Okay? In terms of coaching. Okay? On my videos, it's worth at least $100,000. You know, if you just follow some of the stuff that I say, everything isn't going to fit you. I totally understand that. Okay? So just because I say something and it might not fit you doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means that's not for you. So find what works for you and use that. Use that. Execute on that. Stay on top of that. Okay? But you have to do this shit every single day. You have to do it every single day, guys. Okay? Like I said, I just took a small little meeting downtown here. I wanted to go live because that was on my mental, you know, in terms of people starting the cleaning business and they want to hurry up and throw people in the mix. They want to hurry up and hire. You can do that and become successful, but everybody don't have that talent of governing, managing people. Okay, it takes a skill to deal with different personalities, different religions, different races and creeds, right? It takes a skill to do that, and you have to be a people person. A lot of the people that I talk to, they say, Fabio, I really don't even want to go door to door because I like to work behind the scenes, Fabio. I'm just not a people person. And I tell them, if you're not a people person, you're probably in the wrong business because you have to deal with people on all levels in this business, right? You have to deal with the contact person. You have to deal with your vendors or contractors. You have to deal with your employees. You have to deal with people in this business. So if this is not the business for you, then you might want to, if that's not what you like to do in terms of dealing with people, then maybe online business, online marketing, you know, drop shipping or something like that. Maybe that might be the thing for you. So I would suggest you do a little research in that and get that business started because you don't have to deal with a lot of people, right? Thank you, Enterprise. And I really want to see you guys win. It's passion behind this, guys, right? You know, like I was telling my dad when we was talking about the coaching and that type of thing, because I get frustrated. I get frustrated because you guys actually paid me to coach you, but then you don't do anything with the information, and that sucks. That sucks. So like I said, I was talking to my dad about coaching me. He said, well, you know, some people want it and some people don't. Some people will listen to you and they execute on what you say, and the result shows. The result shows when they come back and they say, hey, Fabio, I got this contract. Oh, Fabio, I was real close to getting this contract, and for whatever reason, I didn't get it. I say, well, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right? Because I don't get everything. Now, I'm not telling you this one formula. I got this one formula I'm going to tell you, and if you use it, you're going to get all of the contracts in the world. That's not how it goes. I'll be lying to you if I told you that. Right? But what I am saying that if you repeat that formula, through repetition, eventually you will get the traction. Take you back to 2012 when I first started, right? I wanted to get my contract in the first 60 and wound up getting it in the first 90 days. But I kept going, repetition, I kept going. I kept believing in myself. I said I had to win. I had to win. There was no other option. I had to win. Okay? So again, guys, I want you to hone in on what I'm talking about, whether it's the coaching or whether it's, you know, getting it started yourself, keeping your job. I can't express that enough. Keep your job. Don't quit your job right off rip just because you're starting a business. I don't care how much of a headache they've been giving you a headache this far. Put up with the bullshit for a little bit and strategically exit your job. Strategically. Okay? Strategically. I got some people that's in my coaching, they do Uber. They said, Fabio, I'm really tired of driving these people around. I mean, I make pretty decent money doing Uber, but I don't, you know, I don't want to make a career out of it. I say, just keep doing it for a little bit. keep that revenue coming in, keeping it for a little bit, and then take that and invest in yourself and invest in your business. Invest in yourself and invest in your business. You know, same thing, man. And I talk to so many people. It's people on my Facebook and on my Instagram. You know, they want to be rappers and then this and that, and they say they watch my videos or they're on my Facebook and they see my lives. Man, how can I get my rap? I say stay consistent. Stay consistent away, and then you'll attract what you need to attract. You'll attract it. You give enough music away for free, right? On the different platforms. You can sell some stuff, right? Sell some stuff. But you gotta build a fan base. You gotta build a fan base. Okay? You have to have great music, great visuals in the videos. I talked to one guy, he's on my Facebook. He feels like all he has to do is put this video together, submit it to WorldStar, have that video go viral, and then that's gonna make him a lot of money. His whole thing is dependent on WorldStar. What people don't know that I know is that WorldStar has a great deal of followers, but a lot of those comments and stuff that you see on WorldStar is fake. WorldStar have a lot of fake accounts, right? They have a lot of fake accounts and they expand the comment section, right? They boost the views up themselves. Like the people that you see on the views, all them people didn't watch that particular video, right? But through the algorithm and, you know, being placed on a WorldStar platform and that type of thing, people feel some type of security, they feel some type of accomplishment because it was on WorldStar. Okay, so again, guys, like I say, you have to understand this. You have to do your research. Okay, but again, like I say, to go back to the top of the video, what I was talking about, and then I'll let you go, is start the business yourself. Work the business yourself. Keep your job. And get yourself a coach or a mentor. Okay? Get yourself a coach or a mentor. It doesn't have to be me. I'm not saying it have to be me. You know, that's not what I'm telling you to do it for. But it'll be an advantage to you if you do so. Okay? It'll be an advantage to you if you do so, because a mentor or a coach can put you in a situation where you don't have to fall in those pitfalls. You don't have to fall in those loopholes, right? You don't have to fall in those situations, right? They put you in a situation where you can get over that. Okay? And then if you have the right mentor, they can introduce you into a lot of other things, like investments and different things like that. So, and that's what my mentors did. I have to pay them on a monthly basis. I have two mentors. I have to pay them on a monthly basis. And I probably don't even talk to them every month. Lucky once a month, because I'm already building traction. But I know when I need them, they're there. When I need them, they're there. They're gonna steer me in the right. They're gonna steer me in the right direction. Okay. If you guys have any comments or any questions or whatever the case is, right now is the time to put them on. I do expect to come back on live or do a video tomorrow. That was my original scheduled date, that I was going to do it tomorrow, Tuesday, which I'm still going to come back Tuesday. But I felt like it was paramount that I get on here and talk to you guys today about starting with yourself, starting with you, keeping your job, and I just kind of added on coaching. That was actually going to be part of my tomorrow's video. Just talking about how important mentorship and coaching is, okay? Because a lot of you people feel like, I don't need a coach. I do agree, there's a ton of information on the internet. So you don't necessarily need a coach to start a business. But to move strategically, it can help you by having a coach or having a mentor, having somebody that's been there, done that, okay? That's having somebody that's been there, done that. It's so many people, they tell me different things on my coaching, and I say, well, you can give it a shot. I never shoot anybody idea down, because again, there's no right or wrong way to run this business, and I don't know everything. But I would tell them, I would say something like this. I hear what you're saying, and I totally understand it. I personally haven't done that myself, but if it was me doing it, I would probably do it this way, and here's why. But you can give it a shot to do it your way, and to see it might turn out. But also be open to another way to do it, and I would give them that other way. And I think that's kind of what a coach or what a mentor should do. More or less like a mentor. You know, I think should give you some other options outside of what you're currently thinking, but not necessarily shoot your thought down, because your thought might be $5,000, right? $10,000 move if you make that move. But because Fabio said don't do it, you don't do it, and now you know you might have lost 5 or 10 grand, right, by not making that move. So again, I try not to shoot it unless I absolutely know that it won't work, or I feel like you shouldn't do it that way, and then I'm able to explain to you why you shouldn't do it that way. Then I would do so. I wouldn't allow you to make a stupid move or go with a stupid move. But if it sounds like it's viable, it sounds like it's something that you could do, yeah, go ahead and do that. But it'll be a little bit easier to me if I did it this way. Is commercial accounts better than resident? Yes, commercial accounts is better than residential accounts, and here's why. Residential accounts, a lot of times, or in this day and age, is becoming to be like a one-time service. Like they might sign on and have you on a weekly basis, right? And they will sign on for that once a week. We're gonna have you once a week. We're gonna have you twice a week. But so many people has called my phone and said, sorry, there was a call coming in. So many people call my phone and they say, well, Fabio, I don't know how I'm gonna make payroll. I don't know how I'm gonna make this. And I say, why? What's going on? They say, well, they cancel service for the next 2 weeks. I say, well, how many weeks in are you in already? Well, I just did this first week, and they said they're going out of town, or they saying that they can't, use us because, for whatever reason, whatever they got going on, right? So basically what I'm saying in a nutshell, commercial is better because commercial is a little bit more consistent. They would generally never tell you not to come in at your schedule side, right? Which create a residual income. As long as you do great work, you show up, you do great work, you're going to get that check at the beginning of the month, or bi-weekly, or however you're doing your nets, however you're billing out, you're going to get that revenue. How do you go about saying that? You just stated in your agreement. You just stated in your agreement, or you can verbally tell them. We do a net 15, or we do a net 30, but you still want to have it in writing, right? You can still tell them, but you want to have it in writing, and it should be in your paperwork. It should be in your agreement that you do a net 30, or whatever the term of the lease is. If you got them under a 1-year agreement, some people do 1 year, some people do 6 months, some people do month to month. My company, I like to do 3 months in and then a month to month, so I don't have a renewal process. And I do that for a reason, because I don't like to put it put a certain term on the agreement, if that makes sense. For an example, if I make it 6 months, I say, okay, this is a 6-month agreement. After 6 months, you have to re-sign the agreement, or we have to do the agreement over for you to stay on for another 6 months. At the end of that 6-month agreement, they might be like, you know what, I think we're going to look at another company that's a little cheaper. That's my thought process, guys. You can do it your way, but my thought process is you give them, at the end of that agreement, they might say, well, it might be somebody cheaper, opposed to doing it 3 months under the agreement, and then automatically converting it to a month-to-month agreement. As it goes month to month, they're not even thinking about having nobody else, right? Unless you're just doing shitty work. But at the end of the agreement, it's like a lease, right? When you lease a car, you're driving this car, you can either keep that car, and when you lease that same car, you can turn that car in, you can go with another dealer. It's a lot of different things, right? But if you're buying that car, that money is just gonna, if you're financing it, you're gonna buy that car, that money is just gonna keep coming in, right? But at the end of the lease, you may or may not go with that dealership. You might still lease a car, but you may not go with them. So they lose revenue if you decide not to go with them. Or maybe your You're gonna get your grandpa a car, or your grandpa got an old school car or whatever. He's gonna just give it to you, or somebody in the family is gonna give you a car, right? But it would have been different if you was financing that car out, if you was purchasing that car. See, at the end of the lease, you can turn it in and get something new with that dealership, or you can release that car out. If you like that car, keep that car, keep it going, extend it, or you might go to a different dealership. It's the same way with this. It's the same way with this. So I like to keep the contract 3 months in and then automatically a month agreement, right? 3 months is gonna fly by so quick. You're gonna show up and show out, what I call show up and show out, in 3 months, that they're not gonna even be thinking about going with anybody else. But by the end of the lease or the end of the agreement, if you say a 6 months or a year agreement, who knows what they might say? They might say, you know what, we had a couple people come in. We're thinking, can you lower the price, or can you do something on the price, or I don't know. We're thinking about another company. Okay, so I don't like to have that. But again, as far as the net 15 and the net 30, you're the one to say. Like throughout the month, whatever the case is, right? Because some contracts I got set up for bi-weekly, and some contracts it's just net. So especially if you're just starting now, just wait 30 days for the check to come through. You have some where it's kind of split in half, right? Where you get it on a bi-weekly basis. Okay, so that's just my theory, my philosophy behind it. But you guys can do it your way, however you want. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever feels comfortable for you. You guys got any more questions? Guys got any more questions for me? Have I ever had a situation where they don't pay? Yes. Early on in my career of commercial cleaning, I don't get it so much now, but early on I did have people what I call try you, right? So the way I handled that, I would just pick up the phone and call them. Let them know, hey, we send out, the bill, or the invoice. We send out the invoice. We know that you're probably busy around the office. I come from a different, coming from a different situation, different cloth, right? So I let them know, hey, I know it's hectic. I know you guys are probably busy, but we noticed that we haven't received payment for service rendered. Will we be able to pick that payment? Sometimes they'll tell you, well, the person that write the check isn't here, or you have to wait to Annie will get back and she's on vacation right now, and this and this and that. And so you at that point you got a couple different options. Well, when is Annie Lou supposed to come back from vacation? Okay, well, Annie Lou is going to be gone 2 weeks in, and then what I would do is say, well, I have to pause service to that time frame because that's quite a bit of time, and we still need to get paid for services rendered. So we don't want to keep that going, and we haven't received, payment for the services we already done. So you can pause service. I will pause service. Okay, but it's very rare that happens. But when it happens, you have to address it right away, because if you don't, they're gonna keep playing with you. I've dealt with that. I've turned a lot of people around from that. A lot of people that was this close to going in litigation and suing them and different things. And I say, wait, because you got to pay the filing fee to sue and all of that type of stuff. I turned so many people around, right? I got a certain letter that's not even included in the paperwork. I helped one of my people out because they was like, I say, well, I got this letter that you might want to send out, So we got the letter over to them anyway. It's safe to say that the check did come in. They had to break it up, I guess. I don't know if they had the money all at one time, but see, he had let it go out 3 months already. They were like penny pinching, right? They would give him a little bit, but then owe him more. So then it'll roll over to the next month. They'll give him some more, but they don't pay it all the way out. So now they owe him even more. So it was kind of like that. So anyway, I helped him with this letter that I would send out. I provided him with that, and he used that letter. And the check, he told me that they did cut the entire dollar amount. They cut the check. So it's ways around it. but I would suggest that you hop on it right away and do it by phone call. In the beginning, I was a little nervous about it, so I would send like a note, or you send an email to them, or maybe a text message, or you send them a letter. You put together a letter just stating in a nutshell that you haven't received payment, and here's just a friendly letter to let you know that you haven't, to let them know that you haven't received payment. But I said, man, fuck that. I say, we there, my people is there, because I can't tell my employees, wait a minute, hold on, the check didn't come in. They don't want to hear that, right? They don't want to hear that. I must have answered earlier about the best ways to charge. The best ways to charge for what? The best ways to charge for what? But yeah, so I can't tell my people that, hey, hold on, the check didn't come in, because they're gonna say, F that, they're gonna say, I did the work, I need to get paid. Okay? So in the event that I don't get paid, I like to pick up the phone and remind them that way, instead of putting together a letter, emailing it, mailing it out, whatever the case is. Just pick up the phone and make a call. You guys got any more questions here? Again, I will come live tomorrow too. If you guys are interested in the coaching, lead generation paperwork, again, you have until February the 15th, okay, to register for that. I would suggest do it ASAP. You can always email me at Hollywoodjanitorialserv@gmail.com, Hollywoodjanitorialserv@gmail.com. I'm legal. Haven't gotten biz. Commercial. I'm legal. Haven't gotten biz. Commercial. You haven't gotten any commercial jobs yet? Is that what you're saying? Let me ask you, how are you marketing the business? How are you trying to acquire new customers, new clients? Charging on commercial jobs. Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about to charge on commercial jobs. Obviously, you're gonna Facebook business cards. Okay, so you're using business cards and Facebook. Business cards isn't as effective. I would suggest to have them, but to exchange. A business card isn't an effective marketing method, right? Facebook is if you're using Facebook for residential. Like if you're doing sponsor ads on Facebook, it's very, very effective. I run sponsor ads all the time on Facebook, and it's extremely effective. Facebook, you're dealing more or less with people, and not necessarily entrepreneurs, not necessarily. Okay, so that might be a little bit harder. Okay, now if you set up a Google AdSense and you do Google Ads, then you might be able to attract more companies, more businesses. But for Facebook, trying to attract commercial clients is going to be very difficult. But you might be able to get some people to do their carpet. You might be able to get some window cleaning jobs. You might be able to get some residential, or that type of thing. You might, some homeowners, get those type of people on Facebook through the sponsor ads. Okay, but it'll be a little bit more difficult to get businesses off of Facebook. Okay, so you might want to kind of change the method up for your commercial jobs. I would suggest you just go door to door and use Google AdSense. Okay, even the phones, it takes, even with my lead generation team, it seems like it's getting harder and harder, because a lot of these companies are getting spam and robocalls, from everywhere under the sun, right? But I still do good because I have an effective script. I have an effective script. I have a different way to go about that. Okay, now we don't sell the script, but I will help you develop one. So I have an effective script, so I do get in the door using phones. But I would suggest anybody that's starting out, if you got a little budget, right, you don't need a whole hell of a lot of money to do the Google AdSense. But I would suggest you try Google AdSense, right? You can watch videos on how to set it up and how to do it, and going door to door is very, very effective. You mesh those two together, you got a powerhouse giant right there, right? And networking. networking. I would suggest you do some networking too. Not necessarily saying you got to join networking clubs or groups, but you can find different ways and strategic ways. Oh, no problem, bro. You can find different ways and strategic ways to network. Okay? But I would suggest do some Google AdSense. I'm willing to gamble if you try this. Just do some research on how to set up Google AdSense account, how to use Google AdSense, how to do Google AdSense. You have videos and books and blogs and all type of stuff about that. And go door to door. You mesh those two together. That'll be your internet sector that's working for you. That'll help you get commercial accounts, and then going door to door, knocking doors. Okay? Because the ultimate goal is you have to get in front of the decision maker. Okay? There's no way around that. Okay? So networking, Google AdSense, and door knocking. I would try to work those three together, right? I would try to work those three together, okay? Which is no to minimum money that to start that, right? To go door to door, you don't need a lot of money to do that, right? Same thing with networking, right? You just put yourself in different positions, okay? Google AdSense is going to take some money, right? But it won't be a whole hell of a lot, right? You just kind of campaign it out. Just try different things, right? Different dollar amounts. See where it gets you, then add more to it and build it up that type of way, right? Whatever you can afford. You guys have any more questions? You guys have any more questions before I get out of here? All right, guys, that'll wrap it up. I want to show you guys where I'm at. I'm at the World GM headquarters. Let me show you guys. It's the World GM headquarters. All right. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'll go ahead and let you go. All right, guys. Well, it looks like that's going to wrap it up. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. You guys take care. Again, if you need the mentor, you need the coaching, go ahead, email me ASAP. Okay, we slashed the prices. Okay, check my community tab. I'll put the post with the prices on it. Go ahead, get started. Don't waste any time. We'll be able to get you set up. Okay. Hollywoodjanitorialserv at gmail.com. Hollywoodjanitorialserv at gmail.com. You can check the description. I'll put the email there. Okay. And that's going to do it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll do my next video tomorrow. And that'll wrap it up for now. Take care.